guys, we've got Miki Loncarevic and Sam Burnett up on the table.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the breakdown. Now, in this episode, we have got Armfights Unleashed 2.0. You can see on the left of screen there, Sam Burnett, who is the challenger up against Miki Loncarevic from Queensland, Australia. So this, to me, is a really amazing match. These guys are very similar in the way that they're built. They're very similar in their abilities. Sam on the left has typically a stronger arm. Miki Loncarevic, more experience and more hand. Let's have a look at them off the start. You can see there from the start, it's fought in the hand and wrist. Miki Loncarevic, looking at the slow-mo here, you can see there's a moment that is going to be where Sam Burnett bails. Watch for that moment as it comes up. Miki Loncarevic, the first person to move. Sam Burnett maintaining the strong wrist as hard as he can, and just about now we see Sam Burnett looking to bail. As he looks to bail, Miki Loncarevic looks for the regrip to get some control, but given the arms are fresh from Sam, he puts a hit on with the bicep, compromises the wrist, and goes through for the strap. Interesting play there, but it was good signs from Miki Loncarevic that he did have more wrist rise, which is, of course, the key stone. The wrist rise is the key stone for being able to determine where the match goes. So let's have a look now as they go into the strap. See, both arm wrestlers looking for control here. They want to maintain both height in their wrist, but also the ability to get some cup secured. Sam Burnett typically looking for it to set a hook. Miki Loncarevic wanting to keep the hand control, keep the wrist flat of Sam Burnett, and get that pin happening straight away. So let's see what happens off the go here. You can see they've gone to ref's grip, which is interesting. What I'm looking for here is Sam Burnett to try to set the hook, Miki Loncarevic to try to keep control. Let's see what happens off the go. I can see there the hook has been set. We'll have a look at this in slow motion later, but you can see there Miki Loncarevic driving for the pin. Looking pretty good. It's on the bicep of Sam Burnett, but it's not enough. Let's have a look at the slow motion replay and you'll see why. Okay. Slow motion replay at first movement again from Miki Loncarevic. He cups, where Sam Burnett tried to post initially. Once the match is stopped though, Sam Burnett realizes that he's in the match. He drops his arm down and gets into the actual hook. Okay, the problem is Sam Burnett has dropped down and left the high ground for Miki Loncarevic. That means Miki Loncarevic has rotation, and a rotation advantage. He has more torque available to him, which means he can isolate the bicep of Sam Burnett. You can see here Sam Burnett very much on the bicep, working hard to try to get into this match and survive. He's in the match, but Miki Loncarevic is in a far more efficient position. Miki Loncarevic, only a matter of time before the side pressure is sufficient to get through the bicep of Sam Burnett. And there is the victory. Miki Loncarevic 1-0. Alright, second round. This is, of course, a 6-round super match. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Sam Burnett, the underdog, remind you. Miki Loncarevic, the man with the control. Again, you can see very similar start to the first round. Miki Loncarevic with that slight edge in the wrist. Look at the slow motion replay. You can see here again, Sam taking the slightly lower position. Miki having sufficient wrist power up top to maintain the height and have the ability to look for regrips. You can see him regripping, looking for leverage. Sam's wrist is going to be compromised now, and he has to wait for the right time to surge and get out. You can see there Sam's wrist buckling as he pulls through. But Miki unable to get a pin out of straps, unable to put him into a losing position for the slip, but into the straps we go. Miki again with that high wrist. You can see the high wrist right now. He's got a great position. Sam looking to grip low, trying to get that cup, but Miki very well executed there. Watch for the replay. You'll see Miki Loncarevic with the high knuckles takes control with the back pressure. Sam unable to get the cup, and the side pressure from Miki Loncarevic is going to be comfortable from there for him to get the victory. 2-0, Miki Loncarevic. Now Sam Burnett, interestingly, the young man in green, he backed himself over 6 rounds in this one, so he was keen to see this match go to the end and expected to get some victory. So let's see if it happens. All right, away they go again. Same sort of start. Interestingly though, Miki Loncarevic has now got control of the thumb of Sam Burnett. Okay, no slip happening this time from Sam Burnett. And there is the victory to Miki Loncarevic. Look at the replay. You can see the same start that we saw in the first 2 rounds. Okay, Miki with the better wrist rise, it gives him the opportunity to regrip. Now, because Sam Burnett can't elbow foul, there is nowhere to escape for Sam Burnett right now. And as his wrist starts to buckle, Miki grabs the thumb and says no escape. There is no escape from this match right here. And they are going to be pinned. And you can see there, Sam, as he tries to squeeze his way into a slip, it's not happening. Miki to the front of the pad, pressing now. And you'll see the elbow actually goes off the back of the pad as he is pinned. And 3-0. Miki Loncarevic, great experience arm wrestling there. Round 4 again, it's much of the same. Miki Loncarevic taking control of that hand and wrist. Sam's wrist and bicep are starting to gas. He's now looking for a bit of an underhand slip. Is it going to happen? No, it's not. Very similar to the last 2 rounds. 4-0. You can see again the slow motion replay. The knuckles, the height, are all dominated by Miki Loncarevic. Now, we said it before at the start of this match. Maintaining height gives you control. It means you get to dictate where the angles are, where the vectors are that this match is going to be fought on. And because Miki Loncarevic has that, there is no escape for Sam Burnett without fouling. And Sam Burnett can't get access to power, can't get access to rotation. His weaker wrist has been exposed wonderfully well by Miki Loncarevic here. And you can see here the strain on the wrist of Sam Burnett would be quite uncomfortable. But the experienced man getting it, 4-0. All right, round 5.
Just rotate both hands a little bit. Rotate them. Go!
The slip achieved this time, you can see there, looking at the replay, back pressure was the first movement from Sam Burnett with a bit of a low hand. And you can see the fatigue starting to show in Miki's hand. Unable to hold on and accepts the slips. He thinks that he's got it in straps anyway, so here we go. All right, they've gone into the hook. This is where Sam Burnett wanted to be, but again, you can see Miki with a better hand position. You can see Miki's knuckles are more horizontal than Sam's. Sam's are up, Miki's are down. Again, that means the bicep has been isolated on Sam Burnett. It means the side pressure can be applied onto the bicep, and there is the victory. Watch again, the replay. The first surge, good surge from Sam Burnett, but it's not enough to take the hand of Miki. From there, it's into the hook, and because Miki has maintained that better height from the beginning, he gains that leverage in rotation. The leverage in rotation means that he can use his lats to attack the bicep of Sam Burnett, and then finally the side pressure using his pec and shoulders. Here comes the side pressure using pec and shoulders to really isolate the bicep now of Sam. And despite Sam having the stronger arm, it's not going to be enough to survive that. 5-0, Miki Loncarevic. You can see there, by this sort of phase of a super match, of a 6-round super match, the lactic acid is huge. The ability to close your hand is really struggling. And this is where real arm wrestlers separate themselves. Miki Loncarevic, again with the control, that hand and wrist, the height there, is looking good. But Sam Burnett, determined to get on the board, does not want to give this one up. And you can see there, again, that was almost a gentle slip. Watch the replay of the slip. You can see that gentle appearance of the slip is because of the pump in the hands right now. It's getting harder for these guys to control their hands, to close their hands. The strength in their fingers are really starting to fade as the blood pressure increases. You can see the blood pressure there in young Sam Burnett on the right of screen. Huge amount of pressure through his forearms and hands. And the slip happens. You'll see it's coming up nice and gently. There we go. Into the straps they go. All right, you see the low grip again. The low grip from Sam. He's looking to set that cup and the drag. But up until this point, Miki has been too strong in the wrist. Let's see what happens here. There we go. And the plan has finally come through in round 6. Sam Burnett taking the wrist of Miki Loncarevic. Miki Loncarevic now sitting in the top right-hand corner of the pad to try to make a defensive angle there on his forearm, making it impossible to be in, but the side pressure is sufficient from Sam Burnett. Let's look at the replay. The wrist this time, not enough from Miki Loncarevic, and Sam Burnett's pronation and cup finally gets set. That gives him access to his side pressure. Now, despite all the work that Sam Burnett has done, once he has got the leverage, he is in a position where he can get the pin. You can see him testing there to come forward for a press, but Miki Loncarevic having none of it, and forcing Sam to go back to a side pressure drive any moment now. Here we see the side pressure being applied, and it's too much for Miki Loncarevic. Sam Burnett gets on the board, but the victory goes to Miki Loncarevic, 5-1.
Final winner. Final winner,
Mickey, tell me about how's the hand after that?
Yeah, it's hurting, man. I'm gonna feel this tomorrow.
Can you close the hand?
No, I literally that's it at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well done, man. How you feeling after that, man? 5-1.
A bit tired. Obviously not the way I wanted it.
Talk nice and loud.
It's not the way I wanted to lose, but gave it my best shot.
You did well, man. How's the hand feel?
Oh, I feel it all in my biceps. Everything's sore. I'm tired.
Pumped?
Very pumped, yeah.
Good stuff. Oh, well done, man.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff there from both Miki Loncarevic and Sam Burnett. They were, of course, the undercard feature there on the Armfights 2.0 series, which happened on October 31st. Yeah, October 31st is when that one happened, and it was a good match. So well done to both of those guys. Miki Loncarevic, of course, has defended his title there as the Queensland State lightweight champion. So it'll be interesting to see. I know there's a lot of guys in southern parts of Australia, particularly out of Victoria, people like Tim Gadsby, Alfred Corker, who have a lot to say, no doubt, about that title there from Mickey's, and they're going to be hunting for that before we, of course, head international, see some of the Americans as well at that weight. But anyway, great match, and I hope you enjoyed it. And that, of course, was the breakdown.